Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrine's Google Hangout. I'm your host, Carl Albert, and you have now entered into the Hangout. And today's Hangout is entitled Sharif Bey and the Moors Show the House of Consciousness to be a Danger to Blacks. We know that the issue with Sharif Bey, the Moors, and the House of Consciousness is over the term black. This is one of the issues. It's more, but we'll dive into that issue first. Now, the brother keep explaining that black is a term that's used amongst blacks to describe, right? What do it describes? It's the question that's on everybody's mind. How do the Moors look at it, or how did Noble Jew Ali look at it? And he clearly keeps stating that the Prophet Noble Jew Ali, from his perspective, the Prophet Noble Jew Ali stated that black represents death. And in death, there's a resurrection that can take place, a renewal that can take place, like the phoenix or whatever one needs to be stated so they can comprehend. Rising out of blackness, rebirth, so on and so forth. Regeneration, reincarnation, all these different perspectives out there in the theological world that most people, move in. So we know Noble Jew Ali, to be a brother that dealt with civics and dealt with religion. A Muslim, however you want to say it. But civically, he was dealing with the issues of Black America, from the basic common figurative language which most blacks use. We know that black should not be really used in a courtroom, but at the same time, we mark it on, job applications and things of that nature. This is the Moors' biggest argument, and it's their biggest play when dealing with the term black, that if you're going to use it, as Sharif said, use it in a proper manner, you'll get the proper response, right? So we know this debate was birthed out of Royale Bey, a brother that be on Sonetta TV, the House of Consciousness, however you want to look at it. And he brought up that same perspective. I don't know if the brother's truly ignorant of, the breakdown or whatever, but he brought up the perspective. Reggie spoke on it, and he said he want to deal with the Moors. Brother Reggie spoke on it, and he said he want to deal with the Moors about this division and stuff. So it sparked this debate. It's been going for a minute, but you can see that the disunity that Sonetta and his platform brings has caused a lot of stuff to take place in between the time of the initial agreement to debate to the time of the debate. Reggie had it in with Red Pill. They had to cut the camera. Don't know what happened with that. Then Shaka Utmost go to Sonetta apartment. He sit down. Red Pill drives over unbeknownst to deal with Shaka Utmost. It's like, look at the craziness and the division that comes about when the House of Conscious, Sonetta TV, them brings up these debates, right? So Sharif was on Talk with the Titans, and he was explaining what it is we already know, right? Some things he hit us with that we didn't have in-depth knowledge of, like Sonetta saying he did it all for entertainment purposes, and that he was also, disappointing at what Reggie was doing. Now, I still haven't watched the first round yet, but from what I seen, they was having an intellectual discourse. Reggie wasn't putting on no show. Reggie don't put on shows, right? It's a serious fellow, right? So, I got to watch that first round. But outside of that, if from what I know and heard, if Reggie brought Neanderthal and science to the table, right? Then, if Sharif didn't deal with the science, then hey, it is what it is. Technically, it is what it is. Now, outside of that, like I said, I seen the last of the second round, and then I seen the melee that took place. I seen the intermissions where they was, talking to Sharif, and the whole Black Power thing came up. He said Black Power, but the rest of the Moors didn't say it. So Sinetta had issues, and he steady trying to cause a problem with the thing. I mean, you already got the debate going on, and you got the two participants that was already there debating the thing. Why push it any further? As I heard the brother Sharif say, Professor James Small and none of Jeffries said, man, you had 3 debates that night. Shaka Upmost wanted to get into it with him, maybe people was panicking because they felt like Reggie had lost based up on perception. I tell you, a lot of this stuff is perception. A lot of it deals with propaganda, and the setting up of the debate is full of propaganda before the debate. So, negative imagery and different stuff, get portrayed out there. So, speaking of a vest, all of this stuff, it shows once again that, people in the hostility and the fact that you got to have, armed security or security with their hands or whatever to get ready to actually have a physical altercation at the minimum, verbal altercation, physical altercation, and a straight up gunfight. You know what I'm saying? If need be, at these debates, show you that they're detrimental and dangerous for the community, right? Seeing that they're not did right in a proper scholarly fashion. The debate before this, we had so-called 40 guns outside of the building, maybe 20 or so in the building. That's just on polite side. Harry had 4 in the building with him. Polite had a vest on. People, these things are detrimental to the community. They're not healthy for the community. When we gonna wake up and understand this before there is blood on the debate floor or outside the debate arena? There are 4 hours there. That's good. Then the Moors had their security. That's good. Our brothers ready to, do that detail and stuff. But how the hell a event with 2 black mans gonna stand up there and talk about issues that need to be solved and resolved in the community, and you got to have all this fucking security? People, that lets you know that there's a problem. When we gonna wake up and understand this? So I think Sharif Bey and the Moors, I thank Brother Reggie for having this discourse so we can see what type of venomous, sinister position people take when trying to control the imagery, the politics, the propaganda, and everything else in the community. It's been stated time and time again that these brothers trying to have a monopoly. You know what I'm saying? own consciousness, gain all the money, the notoriety, the women, as some people been talking about late, the women, the cars, the clothes, the hoes, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? All of these things. And why? Because, as Lil Kim used to say, you know, because they done turned this into the rap thing too. As Lil Kim used to say on the hook, money, power, and respect. What you need in life, money, power, respect. So you see how these rappers and different individuals then penetrated the mind, the subconscious of these people. And now the fake revolutionary, pseudo revolutionaries have emerged. You know, yes, Khalil Muhammad was in the magazine, you know, with a Benz and different stuff. Hey, he did his thing during his time. Yes, he shopped in lavish, you know, places and things like that. But this man was most definitely, as Cyrus Susan said, he then tried to take his fire, you know, banging on the beast. This man was going to war with the government. I didn't see him just out here going to war with his brothers. And when I said brothers, other black men, other Moors, other Hebrew Israelites, other Nubians. I guess he wasn't really going to war with Malachi Z. York at the time, even though he was talking about him and them aliens and, you know, trying to redirect the public to aliens when we got, you know, white supremacy staring us in the face. He wasn't going to war with the Christians and this and that. His disciple, though, what's your name, Sanetta? What was your something Allah? What was your name when you was a Muslim and following them guys? Shalom Israel. Allah, whatever. I'm gonna have to listen and get that name down. But you know, his disciple, Mr. I put the buttons, right? I changed the look of things. He's not doing nothing, nothing that Khalil. I'm getting the Arab terminologies switched up in my head, but Khalil Muhammad stood for. It's not about no revolution. You know, Polite has took this man and shaped and molded him into his fucking son. Like, they want to call Zion Lex Lil P. Nah, you got to call Sinetta Lil P. Many Polite. You know, he's been bought and sold. You know, he's been bought and sold in the division that a Malachi Z. York was bringing, that a Polite adopted, tactic that Polite adopted. Now, Sinetta is the manifestation of it. His platform, the manifestation of it. You know, it's a shame, people, when you really look at it. Now, I know Sharif ain't done, and I know if he go out and do other interviews and stuff, I might even call him up and try to see if I can get an interview with him. I would be a a-hole and call him up now and be like, brother, can I get an interview with you and stuff? And just, you know, but nah, I ain't gonna do that. You know. But it's good to know I can reach out to the brother and talk to him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those type of brothers, you know. And notice how I met the brother, dealing with Lord Abba, who, as people keep saying, you know, I ain't conjure up my own debates outside of the Sinetta House of Conscious, you know, platform. Once again, money, power, and respect. And you know, monopoly. everybody loves to be on Sinetta stage. They think it's the best stage there is. Until somebody get popped, somebody get their wig split. And we seen, you know, they trying to downplay it, but we seen what was about to take place. And if it wasn't going to take place, then why did people get afraid and say, cut the cameras off? You know, because they like Polite said with the Tazari yacht crossed the fucking line situation, right? Which that was, you know, another moment of bringing that division and that foolishness to sell a debate to get some money, right? Polite said, hey, them cameras was on. That was his excuse. The camera's on. So, you know, it's like, cut the camera. We don't want the world or the man to see who's who threw what blow. We don't really want to be on World Star Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? But to tell the truth, that's a Sinetta moment that deserves to be on World Star Hip Hop. You remember I used to do the shows with that Sinetta TV trying to end up on World Star Hip Hop. Well, that's one of the moments, you know, where World Star Hip Hop should have, you know, cut the clip out and put it up. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame because we know what World Star Hip Hop is all about, right? The exploitation of blacks. You know, but that was like, if somebody would have screamed World Star, it'd have made my day, because that's what it was. But some people fearful and afraid, they didn't whip out their camera and take the time out to get that World Star moment, you know. But that's what the community's coming to, you know. I'm gonna get that on World Star because these type of things happen. Tazariak crossed the line should have been on World Star. Shaka Utmost punking of Tazariak should have been on World Star. See, these people making exploitation of the theological arms of the liberation movement also. They're exploiting them for their own wealth, for their own come up, not for the come up of the people. Like that brother in Chicago, old school, that spoke up for Sinetta and talked about how he used to make money off the culture. There's nothing wrong with making money off the culture. You know, we could be capitalist as well as socialist, and it could be a mixture of the two. Free market where anybody can go out and compete to make the dollar. But once you compete and make the dollar, you have to circulate it through the community. You have to circulate it back. The community has came together, group economics, and put all their money in one pile. Now, $1 million have been collected from everybody coming together. Group economics 101, right? Everybody come together, put their money in the pot. Now, $1 million has been collected from people watching the live streams, coming to the venue and everything. Now, where's the resurrection of a building, a studio, a this, a that, something now where it can become more professional. You know, you got to put back in your business. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. If you're a rapper, independent rapper, you know that if you make a rap album and it costs you $10,000 to make it, now you press up some CDs, hustler. Sinetta say you've been a hustler for a long time. So we know how the black man hustle and make the dollar, but then we got to show and prove that we could take that dollar and flip it and make it into great legitimate businesses, right? So now you press up your CDs or your DVDs for as none of them concerned. They sell DVDs, right? You press them up. Then you get the quality better by taking the money that you make from that. If you double up or triple up or whatever, taking that money, putting it back in there to get a better quality. So now competition becomes more and more less of a problem because they haven't made the money from what they produce, and they most definitely ain't put their money back in there to make a better quality. Damn it, y'all lectures and y'all DVDs, live streams and stuff should be like the Mercedes Benz or the Bentleys of the conscious community. That's the quality that y'all should be bringing to the people. The people would love the fact that you take the time out and created this type of product for them. Then they will support more. Now you done created a real live business. Now you got the equipment, the audio, the video equipment and stuff to take it to any hall and have more debates, have more venues making more money every month now so they can pay their rent every month. You know, you see Polite saying that he's going to try this in the future and do this in the future. Fuck the future. We needed that last year. We needed that during the Rosenberg debate. We needed that with this debate. But we see even Polite abandoning Sarnetta with this debate. What did Sarnetta say in the live stream? When you see Polite participate, Polite got his money in it. When you don't see Polite, that's on me. That's what he say. That's on me, right? So now, how is your man in arms? Y'all supposed to be in the fucking trenches together. Y'all in that what they call it, fox pit or whatever. What's the Vietnam term? Y'all in that hole together, that foxhole together. You know what I'm saying? People shoot at Polite, Sarnetta ass right there, trying to ricochet the bullets and stuff and fighting for him. But now the economic and financial perspective got to take place. Why Polite couldn't make no money off that debate? Why he wouldn't lend no economic resources to it? Sarnetta like to say, well, he my financial arm. You're a damn lie. That's why you was begging the people just $2, just this and that. 1,000 some people watching. If 1,000 some people would have paid $2 or $5, you'd have made $5,000. You'd have been able to pay Reg, you've been able to pay Sharif, and you would have been able to pay for the building and not really lose, but come up. But that's where all that divisiveness and disunity and stuff comes in. Nobody really want to watch stuff, and you really didn't set it up properly for people to be interested in that debate like that. That's why you gave it away free. Polite didn't pump it for you. People gonna say, oh, when Harry and Polite was getting ready to debate, they had a pre-debate there. That wasn't no pre-debate. That was to deal with the time that Harry keeps saying Polite was late. He hadn't showed up. This, that, and the other. Or you would have marketed and promoted and said you was gonna have a pre-debate there. That was some spontaneous stuff that took place because you need to fill up time. Right? Or people would have known more what the debate was about. Y'all never put a pre-debate together with that. You didn't market and promote it right because you was only fixated on getting Polite that money. Making that event the special event instead of making Reggie event the special event. That was supposed to be the undercard to that event, right? But I ain't even gonna get into all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's just crazy because Polite and Harry should have had an undercard. Other people should have shared that stage that day and had a chance to be seen and heard off all that publicity. But once again, due to I want to shine and don't want to let nobody else shine mentality, it was only Polite and Harry. You know, and everybody said it was a slaughter. Polite slaughtered Harry. Yeah, he was outside his elements. Right? Great. You know, y'all take a guy that doesn't have any debates on this, don't know nothing about the House of Conscious community like that and everything. Y'all pay somebody $500 offer him $500 and polite, mentally beat him out of 500, right? Made sure he didn't get it. Now he most definitely ain't got it. Psychologically messed him up. And you know what I'm saying? Get him out the way. Somebody that should be walking and talking to them through the whole incident. You know what I'm saying? Man, I mean, for us conniving and scheming, y'all some of the best. Y'all some of the best. Like I said, polite is the Michael Jordan of consciousness. He said you the same debate, going against the Bible, same arguments, same old, and they gonna make sure it pay every time. He threw the twist in there and got a white person to debate the Bible. So therefore, he used it to even more advantage. Then the whole Islam shalom thing came up to once again try to show division and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But how is that a big problem in the House of Conscience when Sinetta just had Zion Lex over there, and he was saying that the pair Arab his brother. Now, it's funny that the one that brought that type of conversation to the community never really gets to deal with it. Yeah, I'm talking about myself now. I'm boasting myself a little bit. But anyway, we're going to get off of me. But Zion Lex, he done said Harry's his brother. Now he's saying a pair Arab his brother. Yet Sinetta wants to rock with him and give him a stage and give him some publicity, give him a name. He just said, even more confrontational stuff. The gloves is soft and fuck polite family, So now he states yesterday that if somebody talk about somebody's family, then they have the right to come back and address them. You know what I'm saying? So why he initiate that with polite? Show you the hypocrisy in the community, right? Then he lied and said that he heard a witness a conversation between me and a pair of Arab. A lie. You know what I'm saying? People, these type of things, once again, this disunity, this lying, and this foolery is going to mess up and get somebody hurt. The bodyguards ain't going to be able to take care of the situation once it get out of hand. Because then they're going to be fighting and they're going to have to figure out who's friend or foe. This and that. So when perpetuating these type of things, we know that Seti and Zion was supposed to have a little physical altercation at the sit down at the house and stuff when he had the other man children and stuff with him. You know what I'm saying? He was getting gangster with another man children and stuff, in his presence when he's supposed to be responsible for another man's family. He's getting gangster, about to get everybody messed up. I'm just exaggerating. It's funny to think of it though, how bad things can turn in these situations that they keep building and building like it's some WWE shit and keeping it raw. What raw spelled backward is, right? They keeping these wartime tactics out here. You know what I'm saying? Like the spiritual implications not going to manifest themselves in real world situations. So, who's crying out against this? I stay crying about stuff, right? Oh, you're a crybaby. I stay crying out about these things. You don't see no tears, but I'm crying inside. I got to let the video cry. I'm giving my Jay-Z on now. I got to let the video cry. I can't see tears rolling down my eyes, so I got to let the video cry. You know what I'm saying? So, people, this is ludicrous, as Mike Tyson would say. It's crazy. Straight up stupidity at its best. You know what I'm saying? D Miller L, peace. How you doing, man? This Moorish brother. I'm gonna hit him with the link. See if he wanna talk, right? But people, that's where this is gonna end up going. You think it's a game if you want to, and go spend your money at these events, right? And when the shit hits the fan, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a fight, because that's what it is. They create these things as fictitious fights, and they try to play them out like fights. And once again, blacks love fights. Moors love fights. African American, blacks, Christians, Moors, Nubians, RBGs, this and that. African American people, Negroes love fights, and they all run to the fight. But yep, when the gun is drawn, all hell break loose, then everybody that ran to it get injured. Then they try to run away, which causes other problems. Because now you got chaos and you don't have order. And even in a fire drill, tornado, or whatever dangerous event that's coming, they tell you stay calm, move in an orderly fashion and stuff. You can't keep a riot scene down. You know what I'm saying? This is what we see with Khalil Muhammad and the Million Youth March and this and that and the police and all that at that time. So once again, polite, you're not the man. Where your Million Youth March? Where your Million Man March? I seen you show up at Farrakhan's, but you act like you can produce a crowd like that. Where's your crowd at? If that was the case and you was charging people like you charge people, Polite and Sarnetta, shit, y'all would have been a retired or passed the torch. It'd be Baba would be the man now. Because it'd be like, well, I'm retired, man. I'm sitting up in the Bahamas or in the Denver Mountains skiing or something. And Baba's the man now. Carry out the events and stuff, Baba. I'm gone. I done made my money. I got 1 million people. Shit. At $30, I just made 30 million. But we know that ain't happened. What's up, Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller, Mr. Miller. It's Miller time. He's been going in too on Facebook and stuff, talking about the incident. So I thought I'd send him a link. Anybody else out there, hit me in the inbox and we can chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I see Ron Divine online. I would send it out to him, but he don't come over to my show. You know what I'm saying? Never asked, and I never asked him. So I ain't gonna start. But even with that, you see how he been inserted into the melee. Same thing with the Harry Rosenberg thing. You know, fix the stuff. He had to be the technical guy there. Now you got to be the moderator and the technical guy. Is that boy wear many hats for something else. But I call him a man. Some of y'all might say he called him a boy, so I'm gonna say that man wear many hats. I know people play on stuff and really try to, you know, cause chaos and confusion over words. But you there with us, bro?
I'm here.
All right. So I'm gonna digress because I done said a lot. You know, that's why I sent the brother the link. I'd rather let other people speak on it. Like I said, if anybody else need a link, hit me up. I'll hit you with it in the inbox, you know. And let's talk about the Sharif Bey, you know, allegations that he made last night. What's that last night? Well, he made the other night. I think it was last night. I'm getting confused. I don't be sleeping like that. You know what I'm saying? I be putting in work. But allegations he made on Talk with the Titans. Did you have a chance to hear that, brother?
I did. What I have to say first is that I haven't heard your entire spiel this morning, but I did see the debate. I also saw the brother on Talk Titans TV last night.
All right, so well, you inform enough to speak. My spiel was just it's a shame, and this thing is becoming dangerous for the black people that they was arguing and fighting for. Us black people need to stick together. Us black people need to come together. But you bring in a certain type of division that is dangerous for us to even come together, to even have a debate. As we see, it got dangerous.
That's right. So my take
You
on
got
that is this, brother. I think there's a division that exists that is rarely spoken on. And I think we all know it, but we don't call it by its name. So what I think we saw was someone who is attempting to help our people, teach our people, give them information as a means of assisting them. And they're employing, different kinds of entertainment to, push the message out there even further, right? They get a lot more numbers, views, if there's that entertainment aspect. If it's just raw information, it tends not necessarily to reach the masses, right, as quickly. So you have that, and then you have another group of people. And I would say they're living it. They're not just here to give out information. They're actually trying to walk that walk every single day. It's not just an informational thing. You see where I'm coming from?
mm-hmm.
So now what we witnessed was someone who, but the two collided. So you have one that is employing different kinds of rhetoric, different kinds of comedy, different kinds of, like I said, I should say inflammatory rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm.
To draw the numbers, right? To make it exciting, to turn it up, as they're saying. But then you have another group of people, in this case, the Moors, who are not just trying to share information, but they're trying to demonstrate. They're trying to demonstrate what it would take for our people to be liberated. So, okay, when the two collide, you'll end up finding out very quickly that one is just, information, while the other one is a demonstration. So while, very specifically what I saw was Sarnetta doing what he normally does, right? The way in which he markets his platform, he was doing what he normally does, but he was coming up against people that aren't in the same lane. So when he attempted to do those things, he was met with a real force, a realness that is lacking. Like, we've seen so many different things occur on that platform that causes all of us to be very curious as to, these brothers got to be playing. They cannot be serious. This cannot be real. The way in which they're interacting with each other, the level of disrespect, I'm surprised ain't nobody got hurt sooner, especially once we start talking about the money that's involved. Right? Money starts wars between people. I'm surprised with all of this talk about fraud, right? People frauding other people out of money for certain kinds of goods and services. I'm surprised we haven't seen violence already. Now, what we saw at the debate was a respect thing. That wasn't even about money. But now, like I said, I think the two collided at the debate. Right? So you have some people see the value in what Sarnetta is doing. I can definitely acknowledge there's some kind of value there, right?
Yeah,
But
there's some value there. I mean, you can't make that much money, and you can't have that many people, tuning in if it's not any value there. And I believe that the community would love, what I'm saying, would truly love be done in a proper manner. But it seems that time after time, the community is being let down.
it's true. It's true. I think that we can all see what we're talking about here, which is it's the values that we see those people demonstrating. So, you know, what do the Moors value, right? What do they actually value? Because that's where they're going to put their money. So now when we start talking about other people, or we observe other people in the community, we can see where they put their money too. Because again, that's what has value to them. So it's a value division. What is valuable, right? So some people say, you know, go for it, get all those nice things that you've always wanted your whole life. Other people are like, hey, you should be doing something like returning that money to the people that you got it from, right? Make the place better than how it was when you showed up, right? So when you leave, it's a better place. Some people's value is there. They feel like that's where the value is. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what I seen at the debate. The value systems. We as Moors, we value respect. We respect one another. You know, we feel that to honor man is to honor the Father God. You know, to disrespect people is essentially to be disrespecting, you know, the Father. And that's just our logic. You know what I'm saying? That's where our values are at, right? We value each other, right?
Yeah, I mean, that coincides with what's written in the Bible. How could you love God whom you never seen and hate your brother whom you see daily? So, I mean, you know. So, yeah, that coincides. So, I mean, what you think about the debate? Who won? Give us a commentary on it, if you can. You still with us? All right. You might need to go out and come back in if you're having difficulties. Hello, D. Let me hit him up in the inbox on Facebook. But yeah, people, it's good to have a brother from the Moors perspective over here talking, because, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. As he said, one should not be surprised that, physical altercations hasn't taken place already. That's what I pointed out with the polite thing. He didn't think Harry Rosenberg was a threat. He didn't know Harry was going to bring some bodyguards to make the post telling his people not to come out unless, once again, they had it planned and scripted. So why did he show up with all those guns? It's due to the fact that people said they was going to show up. The brother that, rode with young Pharaoh, he made a, proclamation that he was going to come. The situation got watered down. So I guess he's like, I don't have to show up. I just had to put the threat out there. And you can see that the threat was taken seriously. You know what I'm saying? As well as, all the other people that's unknown. Pharaoh had a name. They had to let him get through the caste system without bringing him through the initiation gate. So, he was famous. So him crying out really hurt the community, because it gave credibility to the allegations of others. So, Polite took that seriously. 40 guns, at the most 60 with a bulletproof vest, all due to disunity, scheming and plotting on the people, to eat they food, as we like to say. I'm gonna eat your food, taking a plate and eating off they plate. That they go to work hard for, put in all this manual labor, and then come and give you they $20, $30, or, buy into one of your schemes and mess around and give you 10,000 or 1,700 or whatever. These prices are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, people. The more and more I deal with this community, the more I feel like I might have to strap up because of the different lunatics and different people that's in it. And, you know, the whole get your hand out of my pocket scenario. As Sharif said, you know, it was another Malcolm X scene. I can't say the name of the ball rule. You know, my tongue gets stuck. But yeah, you know the name of the ballroom in which Malcolm X was assassinated in, on some get your hand out of my pockets, as we seen in Spike Lee depiction of the Malcolm X movie. You know, it's real shit. You know, you done seen the pictures with Malcolm laying on the gurney with the holes in his chest and stuff, whether if it was the autopsy room or whatever. You know, real talk. Real talk. So for Sharif Bey to make that comparing the two, then we know, like he say, the very irresponsible moves that Sarnetta took that day was very irresponsible. Very irresponsible. You know, Khalil Muhammad, once again, to reflect back to the Million Youth March and the whole drama and the police and stuff that happened on that day, you know, before it all went down, he prepared the people to properly deal with the situation, not excite, you know, get the people excited to do some craziness. He was just letting them know, protect yourself at all costs, because it's about to go down. You know, we see Sarnetta reflect on something that already had been taken care of and talked about months earlier, a fucking picture, you know what I'm saying, and about to start a riot. Some serious stuff going on, people. It's a lot of crazy mentalities need to be dealt with. You know, people talking about people families for Zion Lex, fuck your family. Even the integrated, you know, pay a Arab, your mother a bitch, dirty bitch burning in hell. The Michael Edwards putting up the pictures of my mother. GMS talking about Polite's family. You know, even young Chris, the brother Chris over here, on in the black, this, that, and the other. Shit is getting dangerous. The water has been poisoned. The conscious community is now Flint. The water is poison. I suggest you stop drinking from out the goddamn faucet. Don't give it to your children. Don't bathe yourself in it. The conscious community is fucking Flint now. Need hip hop to go to the conscious community and try to help them, because their water system is poison. Eventually they're gonna die of thirst. And that's what's happening. The well is running dry. You know, the bullshit gotta stop, people. Somebody need to get on the horn and call Minister Farrakhan or something. You know what I'm saying? Some bigger people gotta step in. Some bigger names, you know, Professor James Small and Henry Jeffries, they put on their coat. They like, shit, I'm up out of here. Let these young bulls rumble if they want to. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, could you hear what I was saying, Carl?
Nah, that's why I was like, you know, hit you on Facebook and stuff, drop out and come back in. But I digress again, you know, but I'm gonna let the brother take over.
Well, Carl, I was just asking, could you hear me? What was the last thing you heard? Because I definitely couldn't hear you for a minute.
I can't remember it all. I came back and, you know, made sure we weren't silent. But
okay, I'll just repeat the one thing. Yeah, I'll repeat the one thing. So you made good reference to it. You said we need a bigger figure, right? A bigger figure to address certain kinds of issues. This is what this whole Moorish concept is trying to address. We know that we are separated by the concept of family. My family is not necessarily your family. My son is not necessarily your son, right?
mm-hmm.
And then of course, to have strength, to have security, we've clicked up into what we refer to as tribes or ethnicities, right? We have our own cultures, we have our own traditions and ways that we do things. Now, we can't be a big people if that the nature of our unity. It's just a tribal thing. Remember, it becomes very easy to divide and conquer at that point because y'all do have differences as clans, as tribes, as ethnicities. So we went a step further as people, as human beings, as society, to organize what is referred to as a nation. This is, again, a collection. You know what I mean? This is a collection of tribes, of ethnicities, of whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then a step beyond that, when you become a bigger people, you find ways to even work with other nations and bring about what is known as empire. Right? So I was making the point that every time I hear someone dispute with the Moors and that identity, they're disputing it as a race. They're like, that's not my race. Right? Or they're saying that's not my tribe. Right? Or they're saying that's not my family name. And we're not trying to do that. I have made reference to, you know, a child responding to a stepfather, you're not my dad. That's how they treat the Moors. That's how they be acting with the Moors. They feel like we came in the house and told the child, you're going to take on my name now. And that kid is responding, you're not my dad. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to come in your house and change your family name. We're not trying to come into your tribe and change your tribal name and the cultures associated. Right? We're talking about how do we unite? We need a name. You normally take on a name. You have a family name, a tribal name, a national name, etc. It's like we're small-minded. How are these people that are teaching whatever they're teaching? How do we get to nation with that? How do we get to empire with that? You see what I'm saying? Everyone feels like for that to happen, they have to take on this identity and throw theirs away. That's not what we're saying. That's not what's being said at all.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
understand. You know, I was talking to you about, you know, which one carried the most weight, Nation of Israel or the Moors, just like the Nation of Islam. They got a nation. They calling that a nation. They not just calling it Islam. They said this is the nation that represents Islam or whatever. You know, however they break that down. That's how I'm just looking at the terminology. So when you say the Nation of Israel, you know, we know the very strong title in the world is just like the strongest, if not the strongest, recognized by many throughout the, you know, the world. So, you know,
I would like to respond to that in one way.
Go ahead.
So we know where Israel is, right?
Right.
We also know that those that are calling themselves Jews and the Hebrews are all over the planet, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the difference would be how many nations are Islamic, and then of course compound that with the number of Muslims that are all over the planet. That they're in the billions, like the Christians.
Correct.
Right. They have many nations. You know, and then of course the people that are abroad living in, you know, other people's nations, they still maintain their Christian identity. You know what's funny? Last night in the behind the scenes, we got to talking about that. And I was expressing that, hey, so when we keep saying this Moorish thing, right, it's a political identity. It's not a race. It's not a religion. Right? Now, when we start talking about religion, we just found that was a greater means for us to bring about unity. Especially the religion that we have it as, Islamism. That is a political economic demonstration, right? Islamism, look it up. Put the ISM on. You will find out very quickly it is a political concept. So what we've been steady trying to get across to our people is that, yes, you were going to have these various identities and cultural expressions, but we have to find a means of unity. It's called nationality. Now, which one's stronger? That's debatable. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you have to be nonpartisan when dealing with these things, because when you deal with party lines and different stuff, then it becomes a problem within the nation. We see that with the, you know, presidential.
You got it, brother.
Run, you know, for the office now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody putting a bid in, and you got Democrats fighting with Democrats, Republic fighting with Republicans just to be that number one, so then they can fight against the other. But one thing about it, once one come out as the victor, everyone else fall in line. The Republicans that was just fighting say, well, you know, Donald Trump, the man, he won. He won the fight. So we all gonna get behind him and push him so he can, you know. So our people just not used to this civil process that goes on.
You got it. You got it. It's called civics.
Right. So, you know, most definitely most that's on the House of Conscious platform, if they do know it, they don't talk it and they don't perpetuate it in our community. You know, even Reggie himself, who's dealing with Black City Sovereign, and we know that that's a civil matter, you know, he don't get a chance.
You're killing it, brother.
He don't get a chance to bring this out on Sinetta platform like that. He don't get a chance to have a week where he go through weekly and put it forth, nor do he open up a YouTube channel and sit down and turn his camera on and do it himself and really teach that civics that the people need to know. You know, and without,
you know what, brother, now I'm gonna
go ahead. You got it.
I wanna kind of, you know, throw a rock right now. So truth be told, there is something that has replaced that whole dialogue. And it was a part of what you referred to, the Black City Sovereignty Plan. That word sovereignty and that whole demonstration about paperwork, that has taken the place. Now it has a place, especially when we talk about business, right? The idea of, you know, when you do business in your business name as opposed to your name, because if you do business in your name, you are personally liable, right?
Right.
So now, pardon me with this noise.
Oh, it's all good. That's why you make the LLCs and everything else, and
correct, you know, correct. So that's the only place that the paperwork has a place,
right?
Right. But now they've extended it into this concept of sovereignty. Right, where they're going to own their straw man. This is a backwards thinking and a teaching. That has what has replaced this civic demonstration. People are talking about they are the living soul as opposed to a corporate entity, right? Not understanding the way that the society is set up. It's a capitalist society. You are expected to do business, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to do business. We want to be entrepreneurs. So they've already set it up to where you can do business in your name. You don't necessarily have to be so organized that you have an LLC or that you have a trust. You can just go out and do business. Now they will let you know, where once you get educated, you'll find out you're taking on a lot of extra liability. It's very, very dangerous, right?
Right.
Now that conversation is not being had.
Correct.
The conversation that's being had is, oh, you got a straw man. Right? Oh, you got a straw man. Now I'm gonna say one more thing, Carl, and I think this is heavy right now. And it's in regards to unity. So one thing is surely we may not be able to identify by culture, right? Unify by culture. We're not all gonna share the same culture, right? So what starts to happen is we still need that unity. The unity actually comes in business. And now here's another rock, and this is more towards the Moors. So now the Moors love to say, we figured it out. We figured it out. This thing ain't a real government. It's a corporation. You heard that, Carl?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. So now if the Moors are so smart and they realize it's a corporation, what are you going to do? Like I said, now what they've tried to do is divorce themselves. That's the wrong move. If you realize that the government here is a corporation, then you will actually get closer to what it is that brings us into unity. So it's as you said, why do, after they are bickering and fighting in the political process, why do they end up backing one person? It's because they're business partners, right? We end up finding out that America consists of a bunch of powerful people who work together. Business. They don't work together because they like each other. They don't work together they don't not work together because they don't like each other. They realize that the basis of their nation is the finance, right? Our prophet teaches us it takes finance to uplift a nation. So it's not even about conspiracy,
Right.
right? It's about people doing what people are supposed to do, which is business, right? Mind your business, go get you some business, as our people would tell us coming up. Go get you some business, right? Your mother would tell you what you want to go into that store for, what you want to go down the street for. You don't have no business over there. Go get you some business. Then it starts to make sense, the relationships that you have, right? Many of us congregate and get together to talk about each other. Why don't you get you some business, right? Don't be worried about what other people are doing unless it got something to do with you and your business. But we don't have no business, right? We mind other people's business, right? This is my whole point. How are we going to get to unity? It's going to come through business, right?
Yeah.
Some of the greatest relationships that many of us have ever developed in our lives have come from work. You work with somebody 15 years. It don't matter their ethnicity. It don't matter their tribal name, matter their family name, right? That nationality doesn't even matter at that point. Meaning,
It's the
as
relation.
nations, we can probably work together.
Yeah, it's the relationship now. You got to pass me that part. I got to pass you this part. I got to do this and you got to do that. So now we're joined hand in hand. This is where, even with the Pan-Africanism or dealing with, which I would take it back to Booker T, but taking it to Garvey, even, you know, Garvey was a businessman. He did a lot of business with a lot of people. And he even did business with, you know, the other people, the other nations. Now, when you take it back to Booker T, and Booker T broke it down clearly in his Atlanta Compromise, what they call compromise speech. And he's saying business, we could be like this, but in other things, civil with the rest of the world, we can end up like this. So when doing business and making money, we come together. And we could beat any other nations out here. This is what this business motto that you're talking about. America dominates in certain business categories. They could throw up a fist, whether if it's white or black. This is what they are in business, and this is what America is as a corporation. Now, we split like this in America, though, and other things that comes to civics and stuff. You know,
Black America. No. Let's make this clear. Let's talk about what matters. The ones that are calling themselves Black Americans, African Americans, etc. We exist like that. We are not that fist. We don't get together and have meetings and talk about what we're going to do with the money. That's all it is. That's what they do. They get together and they talk about, why do you think they got all these Elks lodges and Masonic lodges and Shriner lodges and Skull and Bones, and what do you think that is?
Organization.
Precisely. And you know what's even, like, you know, to add more, you know, merit to what you said about America. The deal is they incentivize people that are making money. Look at it like this. They will tax the hell out of you if you make very little money. You make a whole bunch of money, they'll give you different ways in which you can write off certain kinds of debt and not even be liable for the taxes, because they want to incentivize that behavior. They don't incentivize the behavior of, we'll say, being a bottom feeder. They're actually going to put all the taxes on you.
Mm-hmm.
They're generating something, right? That are contributing something. They're incentivized. They don't have to pay no taxes. They'll make $5 billion and get a tax credit, right? While you make your 50,000, and they get you good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's a corporation, and the thing is, you know, always, just like the people in the office, they get paid more than the people that's on the floor. You know, they get more incentives to make sure they control the people on the floor. It's just, you know, like you said, when you're dealing with the business, you just, you know, and most people, they don't have a business. Like Israel Doctrine, that's a business. You know what I'm saying? It's also a person, an entity, as a president candidate 4 years back was telling y'all. You know, he kept saying that. He kept saying business is a person. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But y'all didn't understand.
It's true.
Y'all didn't
understand. I mean, it's simple. It's a simple thing, Brother Carl, but it's also a complexity.
Oh yeah.
Only because people are emotional. They're emotional. like I said, if they realize that the nomenclature more was meant for us to be able to do business with one another, to act as a nation, to not replace your tribal identity and cultural identity, but give you some cohesion on the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? We need some cohesion. We in the battlefield is the corporation. It's the corporate arena. It's about that money. It takes finance. We are blowing in the wind. We don't have the means of truly coming together and bringing about our own upliftment. And like I said, it's because in all of these meetings and all these different groups that we have, very few of them get together and discuss the one thing. What are we going to do with the money? All that church, all them church meetings, all the meetings at the mosque, at the synagogue, which one is about the money? Which one, when are we going to talk about how much money we got and what we are going to do with our money? Because you know that's what the other nations do.
Well, that's what I was
what the other
bringing up.
nations do.
Right. That's what I was bringing up before you came. That if Sanetta and Polite or whatever put up, the House of Conscience put on an event, and now the people practicing group economics, they just brought $1 million and put it in one place. Now, what are you going to do with that $1 million? Are you going to take that million and put it back in the community, and how business people make sure their product is good and that their product would last? Like when my mother used to tell me about clothing, she said, buy the good quality. Don't care about the name. Go feel it, see how it's stitched, see how it's made. And if it's good quality, buy it, because it's going to last. It might not have the name on it that you want, but you will be able to wear that for 5 years. You'll be able to wear that. You'll be able to use that jacket. You'll be able to keep that because it's going to last. And this is how things were back in the days. You get a refrigerator that'll last you 20 years. You get a washer that'll last a long time because stuff was built to last. But in this society now, it's so microwavable. And then people creating stuff where you have to renew it so often because they got to keep the, you know,
in business and business, you know, especially those in the street.
What's that gum where they say you put it in and it don't, you'll never have to take it out. They got to come hit you in the head so they can get you to buy another piece of But see, I'm the type of person, like I said, I watch stuff, I try to analyze it. So I try to see the message in everything, because there's a message in everything.
Let me say this, brother, about that concept real quick. And I know brothers in the streets will definitely comprehend this, but anybody in business knows this as well. The money's in the comeback, right? You don't have a successful business from one purchase. You need the continuation of purchases, right? You want to generate a customer loyalty. That brings them, that makes them come back again and again and again. And that's where you actually make money as a business. So it ain't about selling a thing one time. They're not going to just sell you the Ford truck. They want to sell you the Ford truck, but then they're going to have a parts store because the money's in the comeback. You're not going to buy a car every couple of years, but they still need for you to put some more money down. So they're going to have the parts for sale as well. Again, the money is in the comeback. So this is why a lot of businesses are bent on recurring payments and subscriptions and this kind of thing, because the money's in the comeback. One donation to you, Carl, does not make you afloat. It could be a large donation, but I think you know, and you'll always be insecure in the idea that you got to do something to raise more money down the road. If you set up a system where there's a you know, the money is coming back over and over and over again, then you're good. That's just business.
Yeah. 101. It's called a flow of currency, economics, not a drop in the bucket.
You're right. Or so, even a big bucket, right? Even a big bucket of water, right? That ain't even what we're looking for. We're looking for the continuation. Yes, sir.
But even with that, it's got to continuously flow to fill it up. And once it fills up, if it run over, that flow should keep coming, you know? But nah, man, it is what it is, man. I wish this community would wake up. And I wish, you know, I'm going to stop wishing. Like my daddy used to tell me, that's a bad word. Wishing one hand and shit in the other one, see which one get the fullest. And I don't want to end up with a handful of shit, so I would stop wishing. You know what I'm saying? But what needs to happen And like I said, a new administration need to come through. Like we talking about the presidency, you know what I'm saying? A new administration, a new business with different ideas and different things of that nature to run shit for the next 4 years. We can change up after 4 years, but Sarnetta then lost the credibility of the people. It's time for another one to come through. Another administration.
I'll tell you this, brother. I agree with you. I agree with you, and I definitely love your work. You're doing a lot of good work. You know, we don't always agree, and that's fine too. You know, we've been talking about this whole conversation, the diversity of our people, and that, you know, that's real and it's going to always exist. One thing I wanted to say though is this is my opinion. The Moors got the crown right now, and and I think that all groups should learn that lesson that it is that we have to impart. And as much as we've been talking about doing this business, let me explain to you why the business thing doesn't just work by itself. You know, why can't we just go into business? We don't trust one another. Trust, right? If I'm gonna do business with you, I'm trusting, right? And the way that the society is set up is if you cross me, I can go to the authorities and they'll straighten this thing out. We don't trust each other on those levels. One, I'm not going to do no business with you. And two, don't make me go get the white man, right? Because if you cross me, I'm gonna go to the authorities to handle that. So now once we as a people trust one another, one, we'll be able to do that business, right? Because we'll understand the nature of business, and you sign your name on a document, you're putting your word on it, and you should be a man of your word or a woman of your word. That's what nationality gives you. Right? Sometimes you get it at home, right? Your parents might interacting with other people and being a man of your word, and they may have raised you to be that way. Some of us think we don't have that teaching, right? It's not necessarily a part of our upbringing. So we got to have some principles in place that are guiding our interactions so that we can have trust in our own community. Right now, who do we go to if there's a dispute? Who do we go to other than these tribal leaders who maintain the integrity of their tribe as opposed to an authority who will maintain the integrity of the nation? Like you said, bipartisan, right? Who is going to do that for us? So we need those two things. We're going to need trust, and we're going to need a means in which to settle our disputes with one another, because things will happen, right? Somebody is going to renege on a contract. What are you going to do about it? Do you just go up and bust his head? Do you just kill him? What are we going to do when we have disputes, right? We need to address these things. It's not just as simple as if we start doing business, we're going to be saved.
Well,
right?
it was
Because
similar
right now, go ahead.
I believe it's similar to what happened that day. You seen one tribal leader, you know, cause a problem, and you seen another tribal leader take his nation or take his people and say, hey, calm that down. You know what I'm saying? Calm that down.
Yep.
We can kill, we can destroy, we can do whatever we want right now. We have the power to do so. But being responsible with that power is what we need. Sarnetta irresponsible with the power that he's been given. Polite, irresponsible with the power that he's been given by the community. And like you say, as far as that's concerned, Sharif and the Moors is wearing the crown right now. You know what I'm saying? They show unity, they show strength, they show, you know,
Fearlessness.
being codified, having that thing, you know, cohesive. And even the Hebrew Israelites not doing that. As I did a show last night, you got the Sarnetta TV Hebrew Israelites, you got the pair Arab Hebrew Israelites. They ain't even the fucking nation of Hebrew Israelites as they tried to be with the Hebrew war machine. They all discombobulated and stuff. So
listen to this, brother. Listen to this, brother. I know that you're aware of the different Moors out there. If you can find me one, I'd love to see it because I haven't seen it yet. But like you said, we're seeing unity from the Moors in which we've never seen. We tend to bicker about our differences, our tribal differences as Moors even. But with this win, I don't see a single group of Moors, even though they may be culturally different. I don't see any group of Moors saying anything negative or against what Sharif has demonstrated or what the Moors demonstrated that day. There is something to be learned right now from all of the other liberation groups, right? And I say that with respect. There is something to be learned about what it is that has been demonstrated as of recent. For example, how do you handle someone that you feel is agitating, right? How do you handle that type of person? You just seen Sharif do it, right? How do you handle disrespect? You just seen the Moors handle that, right? How do you handle presenting, right? How do you handle entering in a debate where people are against you? You come deep. Don't be mad because the Moors already knew that we needed to be deep in the place. We knew that. Everybody been observing these debates. And if you don't have the crowd, then you are going to lose by default, right? We can get into the information, but that ain't, we already know that platform is not about information. That platform is about entertainment. Like, let's just be honest.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like they say in the streets. And like I've been telling people, mob rule. So when you come mobbing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Was sick. It was so sick, brother, because this even reminds me of like the Harry Rosenberg debate. Like, our people are sick. Like, they're like the Romans. You remember, for entertainment, they would throw somebody in the gladiator arena and have the lion eat them, and the people were thrilled. Brother, I find it sick. I find it just as dark and twisted that our people were excited and loved the idea that we got a European to get on his knees and say what and to do what. I mean, again, what man would another man to get on his knees in front of him? That's just weird. You know what I'm saying? There's something very dark about that. There's something very twisted about that fascination. You know what I'm saying? The people, there was something inside of their hearts where they were genuinely moved by that. Like I said, it's like the Romans. We literally, the Romans would have their citizens witness death, right? Killing. And the people were thrilled. That's a sick people. You know what I'm saying? That's a dark, twisted fantasy when you want to see somebody die, when you want to see the lion rip them apart. There's something wrong with that.
Well, that's what they've been feeding and depicting in the movies forever. It's what they feed and portray in rap music. The whole thing. We see people like 50 Cent that people idolize. Go to DJ Kelly's mother's job, and somebody take a shot and say, look, your mother up here sleeping, and show the pictures and stuff on the table. Like, really? You go to my mother's job and take a picture of her sleeping and this and that? You're telling me, as Scarface said, what's that song when he like I never seen a man cry till I seen a man die. It's one of them, but he was like, he drove by dude's mother's house and shot up his mother. And dude like, man, you killed his mother. Nigga like, oh, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, when I grew up, that's what I used to listen to. That's why I try to tell people I have a twisted mind too, because I fed myself that stuff. But that's the sickness that's being fed in the community, and people don't know how to discern. As I was trying to tell Sarnetta yesterday, when there's a time to kill shit, you need to be the best killer there ever was. Because you don't want to get killed. Right. You want to kill. But when this is a time for peace, you must be the best peacemaker ever. You got to be the best at both. You got to know both worlds and be able to manifest both of them. But when it's time for peace, most definitely be the peacemaker and ensure peace at all costs, even if it takes your life on some 300 shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to do what needs to be done, but y'all sit back. I'm not trying to get y'all involved in it. But if you need to be involved in it, then most definitely come way more than 300. I want all of y'all to come and just smash this out, because now you understand that this other party is very wicked, and the aim that they have to do with us, or what they want to do to us, or what they want to be seen done to us, needs to be stomped out. No longer exist in the world. So that's right. It's craziness, but I
want to say one final thing, brother, before I get off the line for you close out. Again, just to reiterate, the Moor is not a religion. So you can be a Hebrew, you can be a Christian, you can be a Muslim, you can have a traditional African religion. A Moor is not a religion. Furthermore, it is not a, so don't ask Moors, what color are they? What are Moors phenotypically? It's a political identity, right? It is not a race. It is not a phenotype. So most people need to really, really back up and understand, you know what I'm saying, what is being said to them. If you said that you was a Black Panther, that's not a race. You dig what I'm saying? That's not a religion. You see that? It's very easy for us to understand that concept, but for some odd reason, you know, we're not able to do that with the Moorish concept. And this goes for the people that are, you know, promoting themselves as Afrocentric, those that are, you know, promoting themselves, you know, Black and all these different kinds of things. They're neglecting this because they say that Black is their race. That's what they're thinking. You can tell a Black person because you can tell by their phenotype. And this is why we clown, you know, certain ones in the community that are pro-Black, but they're, you know, fair skinned. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Oh yeah. They did it with Reggie, you know.
Yeah. Reggie took a lot of that heat.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I seen Seti get some of it too. And it's because how the hell are you gonna unify around that concept when we come in different colors?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about us, even the ones that went through slavery, we come in different colors, different shades. The ones that came through slavery, we have different religions. So when we start to talk
and
about
then
nationality, yes, sir. Amalgamation,
the
definitely.
amalgamation that takes place when we in different places. Cause we gonna, you know, I didn't retire from getting me some right about now. And, you know, I probably got some seeds out there that I don't know about, you know, but we gonna get us some. You know, I know we gonna get us some because everybody be talking crazy to me about not giving me some. Like, nigga, go get you some. So when we end up in Germany and Russia and Africa somewhere, Australia, the South Pole, you know, you gonna have some of us running around looking like what they call in the South Pole and stuff. The what they call? I can't think of it. The igloo people, what they call?
Yeah, that like the Eskimos.
Yeah, the Eskimos. You gonna have some Eskimos if you get one of us up there, especially if he on that polygamy. You gonna have 3-4 Eskimo women and knocking them up. We gonna amalgamate with the people wherever we go. You gotta take that under consideration, people.
Right,
you know,
because that's where this debate is stemming from. What identity should we use? The Moors are claiming they have the national name for you. Until you come with a better one, until you come with the principles that will guide that one, you cannot compete with the Moors. You are on a tribal level with your dispute, right? Oh no, I'm Igbo. Don't try to make me that. You're still on your tribalism, right? Oh, that's not my son. I don't give a damn about that kid. You're on your you know what I'm saying? You're cutting yourself off from the greater family, right? From greater humanity, the human family. You're cutting yourself off when you do that. And the Moors are trying to say, hey, we're trying to bring you back into the human family. You should have a family name, tribal name, national name. And you don't have to give up your family name because you're an American, right? My last name, Miller L. I don't have to give that up because, you know what I'm saying, I'm an American. But I understand the nature of that. We should understand the nature of that. We need to rebuild that. So please, people, understand it's not a religion, right? It's not a race. We are going to be a large group of people that are diverse. We have to come together. It's going to be through business. We need to all get ourselves together. I feel like it was a shame, brother, and I hate to be carrying on, but I feel like it was a shame that we missed this opportunity of having Barack in place. Barack Obama, to us, should have represented a means for us to get into corporate order. When you become the president, you can start issuing out contracts for the things that the country once built. We get all upset when we find out, oh, you know, this president had political, or excuse me, economic interest in this company. For example, the Bushes. They built weapons. They own companies that built weapons. So of course they want a war, right? Anybody in business knows the best contracts are the ones that come from the government, because that money's always good. They always pay her up. So the point is with Barack in place, if we would have had some corporate order, let's say, you know, a lot of our people are into healing and into health. We should have been getting a lot of these contracts. It's called Obamacare. We should have been getting a lot of that Obamacare money. We talk about health all damn day long, especially in our conscious community. Many of our people are focused on that. Why wasn't we positioned and organized to receive that check that he could have cut us? Nope, we're not ready. We're still not ready. We're still not ready. We don't even know how to capitalize on a situation like that because, you know, it's just supposed to be about race, right? We're supposed to come together and it's just a race thing. And I'm just going to give you because you look like me. No, I don't think so. That ain't never been how that works, right? If we're going to do some business or we're not, right? And if we're not, then so be it, right? That's just a missed opportunity, or maybe we just can't work together because our fields, our industries don't go hand in hand. But you know what I'm saying, brother? We need to understand the concept of nationality and what will bring those tribal people together. And it's because we should understand, hey, this makes us more powerful. This is what's making us very, very powerful, right? Another reason why we deal with the Moorish concept and identity. Them Europeans wasn't going to just anywhere in Africa. They were going to the powerhouse. Who is the richest man in known history? Mansa Musa. Where was he living at? Where they went and got their slaves from. Generally speaking, that's where they got their slaves. That whole area in which the wealthiest man was living. When I say the wealthiest man, I mean like about $500 billion, not Bill Gates. Right? Try like 10 Bill Gates, 5 Bill Gates, right? You got like $80 billion. Where you're gonna need 5 more Bill Gates to understand the influence that a Mansa Musa has on the planet Earth. Do you know the influence that a Bill Gates has on the planet Earth? Think about what I'm saying to you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
right?
we know
Think about the influence that Zuckerberg has on the planet Earth.
Yeah, we know what these people, parents and stuff, did also before them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
shout out to my haters in the shout out to my haters in the chat room. Y'all filling it up out there. I see y'all got great admiration for me and my channel.
They hating, man. This is a good build.
Yeah, you know, the pair Arab, you know, he taking time out his day to visit my channel, and then his insane friend. You know, this shows the community what goes on. Them the ones to be calling. You may have heard the phone ring. I had to turn my Skype out. You know what I'm saying? As I was showing people the other day, you know, the pair Arab messed around and then called me on the block number. He called me with his actual number, and I put it out there in certain places and stuff. And when I looked it up, it said it came from a Navy, the Washington Navy yard. I'm like, what the hell? Why the hell he calling from the Washington Navy yard? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Washington Navy yard where the shooting took place and all of this and that. So, man, you know, that's another thing. When you don't have everything set up, don't nobody know who's who and how they enter in the nation. The United States of America say you're a legal citizen, you can't dwell in this nation, or you got to get up out of here. Or if you're gonna be
ban you, right?
Nationalized,
they won't let you in.
Yeah, you're gonna be nationalized, then you have to put forth your information. We need to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're a citizen and you did something wrong or pedophile or this and that, we need to be able to identify you in whatever community you go into, because the nation needs to know where you are at all times. So this community, being just a community and not a nation, you have different people going in and out of the community doing whatever they want to do in the community, and no one is holding them accountable for what they're doing in the community, because they just leave that community and go to another community. 1 minute, somebody a Hebrew, they leave that community, now they are more. They leave that community and they over here with the
The
RBGs.
Wapians,
Like,
right? The Wapians, right?
yeah, Wabians. This and it's like, hold up, man. You done been through 5 communities, and you saying you still don't know what's right. This, man,
Right.
you might
And
be
they
an
got no,
ape.
and they got no allegiance, and they got no allegiance whatsoever to none of it. See,
Right.
brother,
So
I'm gonna close it with this. As far as I'm concerned, definitely carry on with the show, brother. I appreciate you sending me the link. You know, please, like this tribalism, it's small-minded. You're showing the world how small-minded you are, right? I'm talking to the community right now. The tribalism, that's a small-mindedness. You are not ready to compete on a global level. You're a tribe. You can't see past your territory, right? We need to grow. We need to unite as a nation, not tribes, right? I heard a brother on the show saying the Moors need to unite with the Moors and have some uniformity. Knock it off. We are going to be who we are, right? We are going to have the diversity that we have. We're not going to bring each other together on that level. But nationally speaking, we should have a doctrine, right? We should have a uniformity in terms of the national concept, right? When somebody wants to become a citizen over here, they make them take a test. They make them take a test on doctrine. We should have the same thing, right? This is what the Moorish Science Temple is. There is a doctrine in there to teach you how to be. Many of us don't have a God. Many of us was mistaught about God. So Noble Drew also has that covered as well, teaching you your divine creed. But we need to understand the nature of nationality. There is a doctrine that will go with that. For all the haters of doctrines, you understand me. You will have a doctrine if you're a nation. There will be a protocol with laws if you are a nation. You dig?
yeah, I mean that's why.
Until they can come with that, any other group, until you can come with that, principles and protocols, you cannot compete with the Moors and what it is that we are talking about in this category. Maybe another category, sure. But this one, this unifying thing, you're not going to be able to compete because you're still dealing with tribalism. You want everybody to be a part of your tribe. That's not going to work. You want everybody to be a part of your religion. That's not going to work. You only want to work with people that look like you. That's not going to work. And that's all I got to say, Brother Carl. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, most definitely. I appreciate you coming over. You know, it's hard trying to hold down the fort by yourself. Sometimes you need somebody to come in and what they call it. When somebody else take the bat for you.
Yeah.
Pinch hitter.
Yeah.
You need somebody else to hit. Hey, look, man, I'm tired. I've been running. Whew, that inning was hard. Can he go back for me?
Yeah, need a sub.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. In other sports, you can relate more to 6-man. Bring him off the bench, coach, because I need a rest. But
right.
man, we're gonna do business too for us. Getting down with, if not a debate, we can have a little sit down and talk about what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That way we could bring different communities together and stuff.
I love it, Carl.
I'm looking to really get busy in the Atlanta area this summer and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, we might have to get you a plane ticket or whatever, fly you down and get busy down there, man, so we can talk about,
what we gonna do with the
my
money?
new administration.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we gonna do with the money?
The new administration we gotta come through, we need everything that we got to do. Sharif, like I said, I can reach out to him. I know he good with nonsense stuff. Me and Nasi, we got our issues, but at the same time, grown men know how to put stuff aside when need to. Like I said, for war, it's time for war. When it's time for peace, it's time for peace. And bringing a new administration in should be our biggest goal right now. I know in the Black making they run for trying to be the next platform. I'm doing my thing, this, that, and the other. And it's a lot of people that's watching and paying attention. So if we can find a way to, cohesively bring this thing together, then let's do it. So you'll be getting a call. I'll hit you up later when I figure out what to do. So with that said, I'm gonna close out too. So peace, everybody. You know, shout out to my haters. You know, let the world know that you're disgruntled haters. I love to see y'all do that because it just goes to show that, you know, some people gonna hate you for whatever you do. You know.
That's
So
right,
with
brother.
that said, peace.
Peace.